Do you see what I mean though? This was what I was talking about in the last video. This is just a really clear example here of the direction of sun and the importance of getting this right. Okay, so as you can see on the left hand image, ignoring a minute, just ignore the exposure for a minute, okay? Also, before I continue, just shout out to photographer Aaron Phillips. He always gives me the images completely unedited, raw files, all the shots he never would have chosen, all the shots as a photographer he probably wouldn't share, right? So total respect to Aaron for letting me do this and show the difference between a good shot and not such a good shot. Because I know what it's like. I wouldn't share there's certain shots I wouldn't want to share if it's a bad shot, but Aaron, you know, has allowed me to do this, and I'm really grateful to him. Obviously, when you're shooting in this way, you take a few shots and then you adjust the exposure. So just know that, you know, we weren't up to speed at this point, but it's a really good example for what I want to show you. But the image on the left, obviously the sun is right on the side of my face, okay? And you can see how uncomplimentary this is. It also bleaches out the dress, of course. There's more sun on the front of the dress. But can you see that light shining, side light on a frown line? Awful, awful. My frown line is something that I am conscious of when I'm in front of the camera. Okay, so what it also does with the makeup, as you can see on the eye where the light is directly on the eye, is it kind of bleaches out the makeup and it makes it very, very light, and then it can look uneven with the other eye, if that makes sense. So really, really not very complimentary. And of course you've got the darker shadows there as well on the eye, if you can see that. Of course, some of this can be corrected with some editing, but as you guys know, I really like to try and get things right at the time of the shoot. The highlights in the dress on the left image wouldn't actually be able to be recovered anyway. They are completely bleached out. And obviously some of this is an exposure thing, but it really is mostly about the direction of the sun. And if you can get the sun behind an older model and backlight them slightly, look at the difference on my face. It is unbelievable. Just the makeup stands out better, the frown line is less obvious, and the light on my skin is actually giving some really beautiful soft shadows. The light on the dress is better. Even if I turn around, I mean, I didn't turn around much. It was fractional really. The difference between the two images, but even if I turned around a little bit more and the light was more directly behind me, you'd have even less, obviously, shadows on the face. You'd have less issues with any lines on the face, and you would have less bleaching of the dress. So it's so important when you're shooting an older model to just be aware of the sun on their skin. Diffusers are great. Diffusers are really, really good to use. Obviously, in a situation like this, it's tricky to get a diffuser big enough to use and to get it and hold it up in a scenario like this. And I just feel like backlighting is just a really good. It feels like a bit of a cheat, really. A bit of a cheat, you know, for the older model, using the shade as your friend. You know, I can't really see what this looks like, so I'm going to trust you.
Claire, I'm going to go with a 70-200 on narrow.
Yeah.
And you can jump around, do whatever you want to do. And does it fit?
It's too big.
It's too big.
But it's okay. I can make it work. No, I wouldn't. No, you can't clip it.